Peace. Everybody wants to rebel. Everybody wants to go against the grain. You know what I'm saying? Everybody doesn't want to conform. But in that process, many people are doing exactly what they're not trying to do, which is to conform. You understand? And that's okay to a certain extent because everything has an order and a structure. And in order to move and to navigate yourself through society or any given environment, you have to know the order and the structure of the environment because it's going to aid you in moving through the environment or working through the environment or utilizing yourself inside of that environment. The more you know about it, the better you are. And the more you know and understand the science of structure and order, the better you are as well. Now, we come from a people, you know what I'm saying? We come from a situation in our communities where, it seems as if structure and order doesn't exist. And it doesn't in that sense, but it does. Even in the chaotic order, there's order. You see what I'm saying that's going on? And what's happening is that people are becoming, used to that particular type of structure and order. But in the process, what you'll hear is sometimes the problems that we have with structure and order usually is centered around authority. You understand what I mean? And a lot of times you'll see young adults, grown-ups, will tell you that they don't like to be told what to do. They don't like authority. You understand what I'm saying? And a lot of times it comes from their own environments. It comes from watching certain things happen in the environment, like looking at police. You know what I'm saying? Come into the community and do vile things. You know what I'm saying? Looking at teachers who may have kicked students out of the classroom, or looking at a probation officer or a social worker, or so on and so forth. All of these particular types of profession, these particular types of backgrounds or whatever, or these particular types of job descriptions, you know what I'm saying, and titles, give people the idea of authoritarian figures. And when we think of authority, we think of somebody trying to control us and oppress us most times. That's the truth. You understand what I'm saying? And authority, we don't like it. And youth don't like authority either. The youth will tell you, oh, I don't want to do it. I know what I'm doing, because they already remember, like I said last video, the decision-making video, they have all the answers. The youth have all the answers. They know everything. So a lot of times you can't get through to them in the way in which you're supposed to. So life grabs them. You know what I'm saying? One thing about youth and one thing about life, if they're not careful, humility will find them. And you don't want humility to find you, because when humility finds you, it will usually find you in some form of trauma. You know what I'm saying? You will become humbled by some form of traumatic experience or something of that nature. So you don't want humility to find you. You might want to learn how to gain humility and gratitude along the way. You see what I'm saying? So this whole thing about authority, you have many youth who've turned their backs on their parents or other people who actually made them good, only because of the title that they wear, this title that seems to have authority put on it. You see what I mean? And they can't be controlled by somebody's title or by somebody who carries a title. But let me explain something to you. This is for the youth as well as for the adults. Sometimes we make, again, it's going back to decisions. Sometimes we make bad decisions that will put something upon us that will take complete authority over us. And it will take authority over us without us having the ability to control the authority. So this is what I'm saying to you. I was speaking about substance abuse in that video in regards to the youth and decision making. But there's a consequence. Remember how I said that for every decision there's an outcome. There's a reward or a consequence for every decision that one makes. For every idea that you put in your head and you decide to do whatever you do with it, there's an outcome for that. You see what I mean? And what happens is we have to learn how to understand why the outcome is what it is. But it's usually what it is because you made the choice. So authority, if you choose to use a substance, it is very possible that that substance can control you. You know what I'm saying? From recreational use to abuse, you know what I'm saying, to habitual use and then to addiction, it can control you. You understand what I'm saying? You don't want nobody telling you what to do. You don't want nobody to be to have authority over you. You want to have control over your own life, but yet you're using a substance. And guess what? This substance has its own nature. You understand what I'm saying? It has a chemical makeup which is contradictory to your natural makeup in your body, contradictory to your immune system and all types of other things. You see what I'm saying? But it works on your psychology. It takes over your neurons and your dendrons and all of these other things inside of your brain, and it makes your body physically want it. You understand? Your body begins to want and desire what this particular drug does. You see what I'm saying? And now you have no control because your addiction has kicked in. You have no control over it. You understand what I'm saying? This is one way where something can take total authority over you, and you have to answer to the authority without cause, without being able to fight against it. You know what I'm saying? The same way you would fight against an adult talking to you, you can't fight against this particular authority because it's taking total control over you. It's called possession. You see what I'm saying? And you will be doing things that you would never do in your sober state. You would be doing things that you couldn't imagine yourself doing because something has taken over you and is telling you what to do and you can't fight it. That's an authority as well. So an addiction can be an authority that will take you across the edge and make you do things that you don't want to do, and you have to listen to your addiction. You have to listen to it because it'll work on you. You understand what I'm saying? And it's the same thing as your thinking. Your thinking as well. Just this is beyond substance abuse right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm just moving into your thinking can become an authority over you. You know what I'm saying? The way you think can put you in a situation where you won't be able to function because you're thinking so much. Thinking is a form of worship. And when you're thinking, what is it that you're giving worship to in the process? You see what I'm saying? Because it can do the same thing. Your thinking can become an authority over you. Somebody else's ideas can become an authority over you. We always say that we don't want to be controlled. But if we take what's going on around us and pay close attention to what's happening around us, something is always trying to be an authority over you. You understand what I'm saying? Something is always trying to control you, and 9 times out of 10, you're falling victim to it and not even recognizing that it's an authority over you. You see what I'm saying? You can tell when something has control over you because when it does, it's the way we act. When that thing that has control over us is no longer in our grasp or in our midst, we can't act right. You see what I'm saying? Our phones have authority over us. If your phone isn't with you, your phone, you know what I'm saying, causes you to act in such a way that you can't control your actions sometimes because the phone has become the authority. It has a power over you. It has a control over you. You see what I'm saying? So we got to recognize what authority really is. Authority, the first few letters in the word authority, the first 7 letters is the word author. Author is one who creates a story, a writer, one who writes something. You see what I'm saying? And authority is the same thing. The authority is a creator. You know what I'm saying? It has strength over that in which it is dealing with specifically. You see what I'm saying? When you author something, you put something into existence. And an authority is something that controls an individual or a group of people's existence. You know what I'm saying? Because that individual or that group of people have a dependency upon this authority without even recognizing that they're dependent upon it. So check that out and understand that authority exists. There's going to always be some form of authority. My authority is my higher self, and Allah Ta'ala is the authority. But there's other authorities in other areas of my life that I deal with. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how it is. In relationships, you have authorities, you have hierarchies in these relationships, and you have to understand that authority doesn't mean that you are being oppressed necessarily. Authority just means that somebody is in a station above you, and they may have a little more insight than you that you can gain to get from them. And guess what? You can become an authority too, but there's an authority over that authority. It just continues to work like that. Don't take it personal. You know what I'm saying? Unless someone is attempting to attack you in a very personal way, then you take it personal. But understand that the only thing that is really the only authority over you that really can control and oppress you is your own self and your thinking about what authority means. So you can oppress your own self with your thinking. So understand that. Peace.